Hello everyone, this is Stefan, and I want to show you how we fix the bug and how you can correct your data. So first of all, sorry again for this inconvenience, and basically what we did is we added 3 new views for the correction of the data. So you can log into the Visual Shark, as you already know. You must select a project, otherwise this will not work. Doesn't matter which project you select. Then you can either go directly on lines correction, you will get shown your first issue and you can start, or you go on corrections, this is the view I have here, and you see which issues from you require correction, which are already corrected, and which issues you skip. You can also filter for this, so you can select skip and then you can filter for the value true. So you can see I have no issues skipped, and you can also filter corrected for the value true. So you can see I already started to test this, and these are the issues I've already corrected. Then the next thing we added is we added the lines control view. This was added that we can actually see the data in the database here in the Visual Shark. So for example, I can now click here on control labels. And this now directly loads the labels from the database that I've assigned here. And I see them here, including what I've did for the correction. So you can just look at your data this way now. And then obviously we can correct. And for that I want to show you this issue that I have from the Common Sticker project. First, let's look at the data, because here we can actually see the problem. So this is one of the cases where the bug shows. Here, stiff. Yeah, so here we see how the bug manifested. These were the 2 lines in the new view, this is the old view. And here a comment was added that is in the old line. And then here's the actual bug fix. And because of these misalignments of line numbers in our bug, this is how the data was stored, even though I labeled this as a bug fix. And this is exactly what requires corrections. So let's correct this. So go to the correction and I say correct issue. And this goes to the lines correction view, where I now have this issue. You can see all labels that are clear, like this one, they are loaded as this, so you don't need to relabel anything. And the actual issue, the case right here, this label is deleted, so this must be relabeled, but also other lines, like this one, must also be relabeled because here we have both times the same line number 116 and 116. Let's start from the top. So you can either just scroll through the file like I just did and see where you need to relabel, or you just click on submit. You might remember this is the same function we had before in the interface. It just tells you what's missing. Then you can jump to the files where something is missing. Here, this is for this artificial line 1, and so here for the last line. These would be both white spaces. And you will find this case sometimes in the data. This is actually, again, due to an issue with this editor, because it adds these dummy white lines. Actually, this is a pure addition, and a pure addition from the view of this Monaco editor is an empty, not an empty file here, but a file with a single blank line. And vice versa, it also has a single blank line here at the bottom. These are both actually not present in the diff, but well, they will be just dropped later. But these also need to be relabeled, but really the effort is none, more or less. And then we have here the issues. So here it switches to the different class, and here I can see my original label in the new file. And this is the pre-label, so this is not the assigned label, but we had a problem that we needed to solve. How do we show you the pre-labels without actually assigning the labels? And these are now on the left side here of the numbers. So on the right side, you see the actual labels. So if I now label this as Bugfix, because this was not a refactoring, this is a change to a different class. It was relevant here. Just ignore this, but this stays here. So the pre-labels are not overridden because it's not actually a label, but just an annotation. So you see what the pre-labeling looks like. Here you can see there was no pre-label and you don't see anything over here. I'll label this as well. Again, I can just look at what I did here, can double check it. And well, here's the final part. I add my label here. Jump to the top, and then I have this test file left. And was still all test. Jump to the top and submit. And it's done. You automatically come to the next issue. If you don't do anything, you just iterate here through the issues that you have in alphabetical order. That way you get it, so to say, in the correct order by project. So it's not somewhat arbitrary. If you don't want this issue or want to skip it for later, just click on skip and get the next one. You can now look at our issues. The first one that I just corrected, dbster 145. You can see now it's now corrected, and I can double check in the database, and now the correct values are really stored. You can see now it shows the correct line label here, indicating that we have fixed the bug. If you have skipped issues, you can also unskip them. So let's find all skipped issues. If you just then click here, unskip, unskip, then those are not skipped and will show up again, and you can start labeling them again. Okay, that's it. We hope that this works for you, that there are no further problems. We didn't find any. We tested extensively, especially also with this new lines control view that we use to actually show the data for you in the database. And yeah, then let's fix this and look forward to the results.